Back to another session with a Paintology drawing app for Android users. And with the app, you'll be able to make really nice drawings using just your finger and a phone. So here's typically I draw with my fingers and I'm beginning to enjoy it a great deal here. This is what I'm using right now, a phone. It's a Samsung Note 10 phone, and I'm just using my fingers here. And the app is available from the Play Store, and this is what it looks like. You can install the app with the logo, and you can see all these great drawings made with the app. The app is quite different to other apps, and they have because it teaches you techniques. It has a different approach to drawing, which is lent from the traditional drawing. People who love drawing with pencil, paper, and that the simplicity of it allows you to actually extend your traditional skills and apply it to digital as well. So, but if you're a beginner, it teaches you those techniques and skills through many of the tutorials you can find here. It's organized by pencil drawing, paint by numbers, trace drawing, even photorealistic. As you can imagine, many people will look at the phone as a poor man's choice for drawing, but believe me, when you can start making good drawings on that, you won't consider it a poor man's choice. It's actually a great little device for drawing. So let me talk about uh, a bit about improving your drawing. If you are a beginner and you're just trying out, by all means, go through some of the simpler tutorials shown and start with paint by numbers and then graduate to pencil drawings, and you'll be able to stick to this app and really improve your drawing. And I'm talking about improving drawing not just in this particular app and medium, but extending it to other mediums of art, such as drawing in pencil and paper, colored painting like acrylics, oils, you name it, watercolors. It will definitely help you and give you a big step in that direction. So when you're trying to improve drawing, you want to keep it simple. This is where a lot of people who advocate digital drawing will say you need a really good tablet and you need all this sophisticated software applications such as Photoshop and all that. I'm an advanced user of Photoshop, but I would never use it for drawing because drawing is borrowed. The term drawing is borrowed from the traditional, which is basically drawing, because traditional has been around for centuries. So digital drawing is like 30 years or so, or even 3 decades. And it all came about through the fact that the internet was booming and more people wanted web graphics. So Adobe Photoshop was born. It provided a way to make easy graphics for web, specifically for web. And now that we have the tablet and phone, drawing has now become more mainstream in the sense that people want to make drawings, and the fact that those tools existed in Adobe Photoshop means that more people follow it, means more people naturally just have a tendency for it, and it's not the tools are not going to make you the good artist. It's the actual techniques. So keep it simple, and techniques are what you want to develop when you're beginning to improve muscle memory, meaning that you're not going to learn much. Don't even think too far ahead. You won't learn much if you don't practice, but there are ways of practicing and following online tutorials. We have a large knowledge base in the internet with videos, and you can search for that and then find what works for you. So keep it. Don't try and get carried away with what others say just because they say so. I mean, believe me, there's a lot of people who try and give you advice and they have little experience in drawing or little practice. Number three is appreciate tone. This is the fundamental point of drawing. If you want to learn drawing, and this is where I'm gonna show you an example of tones in this drawing that we're gonna do of the car. It's appreciating tone. You become a master in tones. Believe me, you will conquer anything in drawing and painting because tones are what makes everything. It's everything that surrounds you. The dark, white, and then when you have black and white, it's the gray and dark scale of the tones. And when you have color, it's the tonal color of, say, blue, if it's dark hue, saturated, or if it's lighter color. It adds to the volume and shape of the clouds, for example, in blue and white, right? So that's really the fundamental thing I want to mention. And then there's the drawing process. Number four, what is the drawing process? Well, this is something new that I've for a while just cropped into my head, and something you're not going to find online. And there's a good reason for that. It's because everyone's trying to teach you the basics, the fundamentals. But really, when and so I'll take four and five together, the 2 points at the end. Practice. So really, you probably heard the word practice, and then you hear 2 hours a day or 10 hours, 5 hours a day at least, and then when you think of it, how they portray it, it seems so tedious. It's like regimental. Are you really going to enjoy it? And drawing is a journey of love and passion. You do it because you love it or you enjoy drawing. And when you think about when they start practicing few hours a day, shading and drilling exercise, it just becomes tedious, and it's probably one of the reasons why many people drop off. And so the drawing process is actually something I explain each time I do the drawing. What you need to think about that is that a drawing process goes from zero to the final art piece. And if you go in the midpoint of the art piece, you won't get to the next step had you not arrived at the midpoint of the art piece. So think about that for a while. What it means is that you're not able to move to the next step until you've got to that previous step. And that's really the love and joy of drawing, because every time you get to that step, your mind tunes into your drawing and then says, I think I need to do this now. I think I need to do that now. Yeah. So that really is the artist's mindset. When you see your colleagues or anyone who draws much better, that's what's going on through their heads, and they're not able to put into words or context. Number five is the very point that everyone keeps mentioning: practice. You don't have to make practice tedious, as I've said, challenging. Make it smart. Practice smart. So when you practice smart, it means you are practicing in a manner that's suited to your skill level. Just remember, don't, when you start out, do not, sorry, when you start, do not get feedback from any people. Don't wait for feedback from you when you start. You're not a child, unless, of course, you're a child and you need encouragement. And of course, the grown ups will probably give you push. But if you're if you're an adult or teenager, don't go for it. Keep it to yourself until you get better and better, because drawing is to measure yourself, conquer your fears, conquer the challenges of what's holding back so many people in drawing. So let's dive in straight to the drawing. So this was a drawing I did of a car on this phone here. The, I think it's the pink Cadillac. I like to call it that. And I did it with one brush. And so that's what got me to think about drawing, making this drawing that I will show you, which I hopefully find, if I can find. Yep, I've got it here somewhere. There, yeah, there it is. This one. So I'm gonna draw this, and there's a reason for choosing this particular drawing. It's because it teaches you one of the third points on my list, which is appreciating tones. And tones are what makes, now I can see what makes drawing good or bad, right? So now I can see what, now I'm tuned in with tones of a particular drawing, and I can tell you right now that this is an easier one to do for drawing, because it's, first of all, it's grayscale. So we're going to switch to grayscale mode here. So it's easier to appreciate grayscale. It's the tones that appear in black and white, simple. So let's look at this and find out the tones of this image, all right? So I'm going to teach that third point about appreciating tones. Let's get the color picker, clear out the previous one. Color picker there. Can you see the tone, the yellow bar going all the way to there, and then here? Can you see how far it's gone to the right here? Yeah, these tones. Let's pick a mid-tone. Where do you think is a mid-tone? I would say the mid-tone is here. See? Here, here. It's not, it's even lighter, so the mid-tone could be somewhere here. There, can you see it? Mid-tone. So now we go to other tone. And then this is where you can really experiment how tones bring out an image. Okay, so why is this beneficial for drawing, and how do you get better in it? Well, when you do block coloring, which is the method I use to draw this, you basically tune your mind to the tonal values that are occurring here. Look at that. Look at this area particular here, how the tones change. I'm going to show you. Color picker. There. So I'm just over there. Then I'm over in the middle. Look how it keeps going down. Then I go to there to see how the grayscale goes down. And then here, look. See the tonal gradations. Here, do you see it? Yep, that's the tones that are in this, in any drawing. And most drawings are based off an image, reference image, or an object in front of figure drawing, a real object. I tend to use my drawings from reference images. And so I draw in block style like this, block method. I can sometimes draw an outline, and then I can go freehand. Just pull the outline and then have the reference image on another tablet, and then just draw by looking at it. So that really trains your mind, and I'm able to make photorealistic drawing because I'm tuned to these tones. I've trained myself, the muscle memory, of course, in number point 2, and also trained myself in appreciating tones. Yeah, and I'm practicing as well, because block coloring is so much fun. I can tell you that. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to first in grayscale, as you can see here, and then we now need to pick a brush. And what kind of brush are we going to do? I think the two brushes that I most prefer for making this drawing is the line and shade brush. So first of all, I'm going to use the line to lay down the first foundation, and then if need be, we will move to shade. And the beauty of drawing is that I can't tell you how this drawing is going to come out exactly, and that's part of the drawing process. Yeah. So I will talk about the drawing process, which is the fourth point on my list, as I go along, as I keep drawing. So first, let's get the background color. So to get the background color, select the background color, okay, and then select the top left, and then okay that, and then you'll see the black background color has changed. Assuming, assume that. So now what we're going to do, the first drawing pass is lay down the uh, pick a brush size which is reasonable to work with, right? Which is, I'm trying to follow the method I used to do the pink Cadillac, and then just lay down the colors, right? Just keep laying down the colors. Don't worry if it's too big. If it is, if you want to work with a smaller, go ahead. Smaller brush, but I've got it at 5.8%. Okay, I feel that's gonna give me enough coverage quickly, rapidly, in order to produce the definitions of the car, this vintage vehicle. Yeah. So notice what I did there. I picked the color picker here, and then I selected this region, and then I dragged my finger along. Okay, let's do it again. So I picked the color picker of a tonal value. I told you the tones were different. And then I pick another tone next to it. And then I pick another tone. And then I pick another tone. And then I pick another tone. And basically, what do I have? I've laid down the tonal values there. And if you look here, pick another tone. And then just simply. And what's that doing is that I'm trying to define a drawing based on tonal variations. Okay, and then you keep doing that until you see that to me that's like too big, and I can come back to it and change the size so I don't have to worry about it later on. Look at this bit as well. That is too big. The line brush is too big, so we're going to use a thinner line brush to do that. But there are many areas that we could just use the color picker and just go and do the first line. Yeah, don't worry about the details. Just do that. Okay. And what that does is, yep, you guessed it, it improves your muscle memory, drawing strokes. It really, without thinking too much, it really helps you to improve your strokes, because you're doing a strokes instead of having a blank. You go to an app, have a blank sheet of paper, and that's it. You start doodling with the tools, and then you're figuring out what to do next, and then you just keep using the tools, and then you finally become competent in using the tools, and then you say, okay, I'm gonna draw an anime, and that's what, if you draw with tools, that's what it usually is. It becomes a form of, it becomes like an illustration, because now I'm using my hand, and you'll see manual drawing, the way it's been done in traditional is still rules, I tell you. No matter how many tools you have, you're not going to be able to draw like I draw, using my fingers and manually like this. So here, I'm just putting down with the larger tones, the body, the main body of the. So where else do we have it? Here, let's just go through it quickly, right? If you have, just make sure with the next stroke you have each time you see the tones. Look at the tones. I've kept that there because I know it's darker there, and then I'm gonna keep it there. Look at that, how it changes. Pick the tones. Again, see that dark tone there? There. Then bring it down, and I've kept it here, then here. You get a really good understanding of what tones are. Right? See how that change shifts so quickly? Okay, and then this really improves your muscle memory, and it's easy. It's so easy to do. It doesn't require much skills. And then here we can even go here in the. Why not? We will draw the grass as well, so you can appreciate all the tones that are going on. And you may think this grass is really light, but it's not. It's fairly dark. So again, follow the grass roots like this, and then just okay. So we'll keep it for that now, and then let's see what the other areas that we can finish off here. So you can see this is a uniform color, so we can stretch it all the way here, then here. Look how that's changed. It's amazing, isn't it? When you think you've figured out what tones are, this is really going to open your eyes to what tones are. This is maybe too big because I'm going to use the next brush to do that. So I'm going to just use the brush you have to fill as much of the area as you can. Notice what I'm doing here. I'm not thinking about doing the grills, but I'm just laying down the basic colors that will allow me to use the smaller brush and give it the illusion of the headlamp. Look, here, can you see the dark images here? Right here, here, right? And then here, the dark. Just pick those tones and just make those. There, can you see it? There. And then what do we have here? I think we need to go bits down in brush size, yeah? So let's go to 4% and see what we can do the rest of the. Yep, that's perfect. So we can just lay down these colors, these gray tones that I'm seeing here all across the image, and this exercise will really help you appreciate tones. I explain it in terms of, for example, when you want to buy a car, right? You have a particular model in mind, and what happens? You see that everywhere you go, isn't it? For some reason, that shows up everywhere. That particular car, which you never thought was on the street, shows up everywhere you go. You can see that car because your brain, you've automatically tuned your brain into thinking with that that car that you really desire. Don't tell me it's never happened to you. It happens to all of us. So this, look at that. So I'm going to just turn that, add those tones. And then can I go here? Look at that, even that 4% is a bit too big. So what we're going to do is take it down as far as you can. Now, let's look at it, what we've done. Look, just a little bit of effort. We have created the shape and form of this car here. And now, let's see if we've got the right size for this. Look at that, it's even big enough. But we can correct it later on. I mean, this is a 4% brush, can you believe it? Just get all the tones that you can see. Right, they're all the bigger. It's actually quite, where can I see the tones that I haven't? Now you go back and forth between yours. I can see a area here. Let's get that. And then here, there's a little bit here. Then here, okay. So now we can sort of say, gosh, we need to take this down even more. Usually 3% is a brush size that I tend to work with. And so let's look at this, our drawing. And now what we're going to do, see, we haven't used any drawing, how can I call it? We haven't used any drawing skills necessary to do that. If you can look at something and drag your fingers around it, your fingers over it, then you're drawing, isn't it? So let's see what we're missing here. Let's see, get there. Let's see, hopefully this new brush will help us get there. So see, this is, I'm able to draw with a little bit more accuracy than you could. Why? Because I've had experience, isn't it? Simple. I've got muscle memory, probably better than most, in that I've developed these muscle memory drawing in this drawing. And if you think you're going to leap forward in drawing, you're quite wrong. So here's another thing that in case you didn't know, in block coloring, you need the top half to be in the reference. So that's why I keep the cursor just above the top half point. Okay. Like that. And then we can really move rapidly. Right, keep fleshing it out. Don't worry about the actual, just follow. Don't worry about the tiny brush. If you are, then you're heading towards hyperrealism. But our own desire is to do this quickly, and I have to finish this in one session, in one sitting. So I visited some channels on digital drawing, and there was one lady who was saying that, who was promoting drawing with a graphics tablet. I mean, if you want to go into serious illustration work, by all means, do that. But if you want to learn drawing and purely enjoy the pleasures of drawing, what that's all about, then this you can draw on your phones. She was actually saying you can't do much on your phones, but you can see with the zoom, you can take it a long way. See these midtones? We're going to keep adding that, and we'll see what happens as we keep adding this and refining the previous tones. You see, we can correct Look at that, see? We can correct the tones. Notice which way I'm dragging as well. We can, because we got a larger brush, we now have a thinner brush. Right, see that here with the that bit here as well. There. And then keep it looking at these tones that are appearing. The beauty of this drawing is I've done many drawings, and each time is so different. Like this particular one that I'm doing right now. So what do we have? What have we got so far? Got this, then got that. We've done a pretty good job. Let's have a look how it's improved. Right? Improving quite a bit, isn't it? You have to admit. And that. Let's just flick back and forth using these trace functions here, the trace bar, and just flick. Oops. Right, back and forth so you can see what areas need to be covered. And I can see that we need to do this grill. So to do that grill, here is what we can do. There are white tones that are running across the black background. So let's take that down and see how much. Is that the right tone? Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. I'm not going to get any less than that. So look at these tones here, and just this will help you to develop the strokes that you need. Look at that there. And then what you can do is stick to it. Don't use the color picker, and just run across, right, the lighter tones there. And then you'll see what a difference it makes. There, the darker. So I automatically hit the there, and then here, this is a much lighter tone going across here. Okay. It really helps you. Now you can see another band of darker tones that you can run across. Yeah, you don't have to keep selecting the color picker because they're tiny. You might pick the black, if you know what I mean, and then let's pick this color. And because we've only got so much that we can do with the tones that we've, as an artist, right? So let's see what that looks like. Yeah, so much better, isn't it? It's like then we can define these that quick change. I'll show you how to ease that off a little bit, you know. What I mean is to make that look more, you know, not like sharp ending, but has some a blending to it, isn't it, as they say. So here, use that. Let's go with that and use this thinner brush that we have and go right to this area here, yeah, while we're doing it. And then let's see what we have. And then here, simply just go rapidly. Right? Just go rapidly and just give the illusion of form and shape. Right here. Then this is so different to how every time I draw, trust me, I'm learning something. I don't do the same type of drawing. I pick different subjects because I enjoy drawing landscapes and different materials, different subjects, portraits, you name it. I just love doing nature, especially like wildlife, cats, dogs, you name it. We're going to see what this headlamp looks. So now you see I'm going right quickly trying to select the right tones. Right, and I can refine these tones that I put down with the larger brush because I've got such a thin brush now. And you can see what a difference that will make. Okay, let's have a look now. Look at that. Isn't that how we did the headlamp so quickly? And now you can tell, oh, this brings me to that drawing process, number 4 point. Fourth point that I was talking about. And what is the drawing process? Well, now you can understand what the drawing process is. The process that spurs you on to go all the way to the end of your drawing piece and not drop off like most people do because they say, no, I can't do it, I haven't got it. They'd love to find an excuse to not to continue. And the reason why others continue is because they understand the drawing process. So here, let's see here. What have we got here? It's so subtle, isn't it? So let's work on this bit more, this particular area. Right, and let's refine that. Just keep it tight. Keep it tight. Just keep it tight. Just keep your drawing. Just I'm selecting very subtle changes of the tones here so it doesn't look too blocky. Right, go and continuously selecting the right. This is bigger than I thought, but just do it anyway, right? Then you can always change it. Just filling these areas that with the bigger brush that I couldn't do before. Right. Beautiful. It's a beautiful piece of machinery that just shows the beauty of the tones that's working here. Then here, keep it tight. Don't move too close. Don't get too carried away with the tonal shifts. Because look at the actual drawing. You see here, the actual image. Try and replicate much of that if you can. And always shift that. That will give you an idea of what tones to apply and how much of it. Look, see how that tone shifts like. Alright, let's see what it looks like. Oh, better, isn't it? A bigger improvement from last time, right? So now where are we? So let's carry on and just speed along as we go along here. And we can get to a smaller size if we want to, but let's correct, because we're at the stage where you can now, let's see here, Let's see, I'm going to go here, go there, and then see what needs changing. I can see that this needs changing, okay, here, and then here, this here, then this needs changing, and then here, you can see here I've got a black mark, take that away, and then to refine the edges, now I can see here, we've got a lovely grey tone here, and then here, let's go here, we can see lovely black tone of our drawing and that, and just lift it up, just a couple, right? Let's see here, what do we have here? Okay, here, that, then what do we have here? So nice white, so that white flows into this area. Okay, now here, that looks too like, and then that can be broken down with this. Very easy. See how it works? Pick the tones of this and then go here. Such a different tone. Right? Look at that. It's made such a difference, isn't it? It's like diffuses. So that is the drawing process. And this whole thing of doing this, it helps you to get to the next step of the drawing. So what is the next step of the drawing? I can see here that it's blatantly off, right? But that's because I did it with the bigger brush. And now I can go in and do the same thing, pick the tones and refine it as I go along. That's the drawing process. And then go along, refine it. Okay, beautiful. And make that less choppy that we have. And then I'm still sticking to this brush because I feel that I can still get a lot of mileage out of this. Look, yeah. See that? That was dark, but now it's come out light. And then see this tone here? You can get that down, isn't it? Yes, exactly. Now I can see that tone there, black. Okay. You think it's completely black, but it's not. And then here. Okay, there you are. Okay, and then look at that thin line. I'd love to go over that again when with a 1% brush, isn't it? Okay. Look at your drawing. Yeah, you can see there. This is now tuning your brain to look at this drawing in very differently. It's looking at the drawing at such a low microscopic level. And the people who say you can't draw on a phone, they should be looking at this, isn't it? And they will probably think twice now after this. That, just go here, just refining the shapes. And by refining the shapes, you are essentially, let's pick the color picker, you're essentially let's have a look here. You're basically, tuning your brain to think, be more acute of the tones that happen in a particular image that you want to draw. So here, okay, and then what we have here, that's a light gray tone. So here, and that's such a lovely tone. Let's see what we have. So it's improving, but now you can see in this step, there is a grayish tone that goes here, so we can tone it down there. And then look at that. This one looks like but it's got that gray tone which breaks up, so we can stretch it across there. Use our eyes to stretch it. That's the whole idea. Drawing is all about making things fit the particular image. Look at that. This one here. And then if we go here, we got that shape right here. Look, so we basically put the gray tones when it shouldn't have, right? So we stretch that gray tone, you can see it, a little bit closer to right. Follow the shape. Don't worry. Follow the shape. There. Now we have this. I can follow the shape. Then we have this white. Then we can say, okay, that white just goes like that. Then just stretches like that. Then we're gonna come back and do this grill. It's a beautiful grill, isn't it? So where are we? Look how far we've come. There's just a little bit of effort, and now because of the drawing process, you can see what do you call it? Like areas where it needs touching up, isn't it? And that is the drawing process. Okay, trust me, that is. And then here, go here, the black, and then make that line thinner. Okay, and then look, that grayscale is, let's take that out, and then, I mean, you can go into much detail, but I just want to get this done in a rapid way. Okay, here, black, and then just smoothen this, and then you have a lovely grey. Then we have a lovely grey here, right? Just get that grey, then get that white, right, and then get that, okay. And then if it's not working, just do it again. That's the beauty of drawing in digitally. Take that off. Then look at that, the beautiful, just gives that dimension. It will give the 3D dimensional effect to it. And then you can see you can shape it. So this is my part of the drawing, and you can see here. So now let's do the grill, and we will be getting that. Wow, look at that. Gosh, I tell you, right, when you do drawings of cars, you're beginning to realize that. So we're going to do something different here. I'm going to pick this color and then see what that looks like. Isn't that right? Okay. That. Because we've got so many of these, we're going to make it easier, isn't it, to do that. So this is one time where I'm going to use the straight line brush, and then reduce the size. I'm just showing you what you can do, and then see that you can go And that's going to be hard to do all those. So let's see what we can achieve. Okay, let's see. It's going to get jagged if you don't do it properly. So let's try our own method. Let's see what we have here. Right, let's try our own method of just, you don't have to get it perfect, do we? Very quick. It's amazing how much detail they spend, isn't it? Okay. Right. So what do we have here? Yeah, better, isn't it? And then we can see what it's like. We can take it up a little bit lighter, and then we can say, well, why not try these small lines to give it character, right? We're not. If it doesn't work, you can try something else. Look. Right, we don't want to go do this 100 times, do we? Alright, so take that down. Let's get it there. So use the underlying reference and see if that works. Let's try. I think we can get away with that. Don't know about you. I think we can get away with that. Yeah. Somehow got away with that, right? Okay. So now that we've got this brush size, let's take it up a notch, 1.45. And then, sorry. Oops. So I'm going to take that straight line out, grayscale. So here. Remember this grill bit is very important. Or it gives the illusion of the grill, doesn't it? It's sort of. You could argue, well, it could get better, but you could draw this straight line across that, giving that vertical illusion. Right. Then just pull it. Use different colors. Okay, now what's in between here? Okay, so look at that. And then we can say, it's always improving, isn't it? And then you could say, well, how can we improve this area here? You can do this. Let's take the density down and let's carry this here. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to, this we did by hand, didn't we? How easy it is to blend. Take the density and then carry this, giving the illusion that it's not banded like this, as you can see it. All right. So that gives it some kind of an illusion. And then we might need to tidy up. Here, go back to 100%, and then don't worry about what I'm doing. And make sure that they're sort of level, and then use the black, and then take that black and give it that, because it's all straight, isn't it? Yep. And then, okay, so next is we will just finish off these. So how do we do that? Again, this is where the density can come in, and select 2%, let's say, and then this is what we're going to do. We're just going to basically just give the illusion of there. Can you see it? That's all. Let's put that down there. And then just give the illusion of brush, like grass. Grass doesn't have to be anything. Right here. Remember we started off with a thicker 100%. It's actually too thick to, so we got the density down, and right, do you see that side? It didn't look like a grass at all, did it? So we're just gonna keep, just use the grayscale. So this is what I tend to do, is when I get near to the drawing, I tend to stay towards more close to my canvas because I'm trying to improve it. Right. Good. Okay, just keep changing. There, see, is that good? I think that looks good. With a little bit of effort. See what you can do with it, just a tad effort. Give the illusion. Okay, so we got this, and where do we need to? Let's get the, let's get that right, yeah? Because now you can see the drawing process tells you I need to address other areas. And so we're going to use the density to create that chrome-like effect on the grill at the bottom and then on the wheel arch here. Yeah. But before we do that, I'm going to take that. I've got that 60%, yeah. Then I'm going to take the brush size up, and then here we go. Just take that, give that illusion of being not a blocky, that's where the term block came from, but more merged with the, let's take that down to 2%. And this you can see from a distance that looks like that works quite well, isn't it? And then this is where you need to experiment. So let's go here and take that color that we've had and just, where are we? Can you see it? There, take that color, just blend it like that. This is a form of blending, and it's still harsh. So let's see how we can blend this. So take that down as much as you can, and then pick this color, and look, you can blend it. Seen that? There. Look. Then you can take a darker color and blend it. See that? Then here we're gonna do some blending here. So here, take that color, just simply blend it. So we pick that color, and then we're gonna just blend it. See how the density works now, yeah? The density settings, in case you're wondering. So take these colors and just simply blend it. Take the dark colors, and you know the dark exists, and just blend it. So I think we're in a good position to, let me show you now what it looks like. There, it looks good, but you can tell that it needs a bit more refining. There's that white bit, so we're gonna take that down, just take it there, stretch that, the white, keep doing it, then that's it, there. See how we did that? There. And then take that, there, that's a bit of blending. See how that worked? And now we can do the same thing here. Look at that. That is like the that we can just pick that color, blend there, right? And then here we have a little bit of this color, and then we can also blend this, right? And then you can pick a bigger, sorry, you can pick a bigger to blend this, this color here, look, that give that illusion that's blended. Look, see how that worked? And then look, we've got the marginal color here, so we can say, well, we get the smaller brush, right? 2%. Let's blend it here. Who's going to tell the difference, right? Now look at it. Right, okay, now you can say, well, and that's not, I'm going to stretch out the white a little bit more. Okay, go ahead. Look how, there, you see now it doesn't look like it's there. So let's go to this, the same thing you can do here, because the bigger, you see how I did the scales here, so we can go here and then just blend it. I mean, we just pick a brush size, experiment. Okay, experiment. Trust me, just experiment. And when you experiment, it is what's going to open up your techniques. Okay, so here, look at that, blending it here, and then here. Look how easily, beautifully it's blended. Then here, so I can increase the density if I'm not getting the effect. Look how far we are in the lower and the blending. Then obviously you've got to go darker, right? And then just black. Okay, and then here we need a blending, right? Okay, here. Then here we need a bit of blending. Get that down a bit. Then get that white down. All right. Let's see what that looks like. It's better, isn't it? And then the chrome here. And then there's so many improvements you can do. The chrome here. So we've got a 3%, and let's do that right here. Look here. Then take that, the white, take it down. Use your eyes. Use your eyes and let that do the work. Look, that's you can say that this part, I'm going to just make sure I do that bit here, right? Straighten it. And then you can add the white, really take down the white, because the chrome is about producing this bright white in that, okay? And then we can say, well, let's blend it now. Remember, we haven't got to go way down, and then just blend. Right, then have the white, and then just work the white. Then here, this bit is going to be interesting to blend. So again, here, so just take the brown, take that darker, take that up a bit, and see, I'm experimenting. If I were to tell you everything, then what's the point of you experimenting, isn't it? If you think you've got all the answers, you're always going to be looking for answers, and you're not going to be trying to find the answers yourself. So I just wanted to show you how easy it is to blend, yeah, here, without using any blending tools. All right, there, look at that. Look at that, so much better. Look where we've come, how long we've come all that way. And then now we can see, hey, you know, you got some blending work to do here, isn't it? So let's pick a blend and then just blend it. All right, here you are. All right, and then I think that's pretty good, I would say, isn't it? I think just a blending here. Look here. So you see the drawing process shows you where the areas you need to tackle. Let's blend that. Then bring the dark to the lighter region. Then look at that. How it's beautifully blended. And now here is something we need to do the black here. Then same thing. Look at that. Look how easily that's created there. Look. Now, isn't that a nice piece of work? Here we can see that I can carry on and on until I'm satisfied. And you know, you wanna just do it until you feel satisfied with it. And that's really the key to drawing, is following your nose, not someone else's. Look at that straight line. It's almost like giving the illusion that it is. Right, we can just do that just to add a bit of shadow. Why not? take that blemish out at the same time, and look at that, how thin that is. So we can do the same thing, use both sides, same thing, yeah, and just look at the shadow created in that. It's amazing, isn't it? Then here we've got the same thing here. Just drag the black into that, merge it, and then we have, look at this one, that's a beautiful thing to shade, isn't it? Okay, and then if it's too small, then just increase it. Then that all comes with practice, and I'm not going to be able to tell you the exact nuances of drawing. Look, that. So take it down, and then take that down. Look, just created that effect here, and then here is a white effect. So I need a smaller brush and just drag it down, round it off. Look at that, what you can do with that, yeah? Beautiful, isn't it? You can carry on and create that that beautiful shadow, and use the grayscale. This is darker to darken it. Let's see what we have. Look how we've smoothened it so much. So this is the tonal. This is all about tonal values, how to use tones effectively. And now, from a distance, it actually looks photorealistic. So there you are. I hope I've taught you something in terms of drawing on the phone. And I hope you get a chance to try it out yourself. Please feel free to comment and make some remarks, whatever you think will help you in your drawing quest. And the whole idea of Paintology is not to just to offer you tools, offer you a drawing app, but to show you techniques. And there are so many techniques you can learn just by going to let's save that car. There's so many techniques, okay, that you can learn from the tutorial section here. So many tutorials that you can work at your own pace. And just remember, keep following your progress. Don't be moved by what other people say or do. Just because they're doing it doesn't mean it works for you, right? So the reason why I can stretch things to the limitations is a result of my own thinking and how I develop my techniques, which is using thinking while I'm doing something. And the drawing I just made for you there was actually this drawing I made. It's actually something new that I haven't done before, but it's taught me a few things. Every drawing will teach you a few things. So I hope you understood some of the lessons that I've shown you here. Like, for example, this bit just to recap. So keeping it simple means, okay, you want to draw, you don't have to necessarily use a pencil and paper. The medium, if you really want to achieve drawing in the true sense, the digital medium is perfect. And I'm not talking about tools. You've seen me how many tools I use, hardly any, but I still made an impressive drawing, okay? And that's using block coloring. And as you get better and better tuned to improving your muscle memory, accepting the tones through block coloring, appreciating the tones, your mind gets tuned to it, and you understand the drawing process, which is a wonderful journey from zero to finish. Don't, if you feel frustrated, don't blame the tools or don't blame the system, you know. If you feel frustrated, just sit back and think where you're going wrong, and then check the tools that you're using and try it, experiment. The thing with me, I have a very experimental mindset, and that's the reason why I can bring stuff which are probably new to people's thinking, and Paintology is probably one of them. And then the practicing smart is okay. There's others who will tediously tell you to draw several hours a day. I'm telling you, if you practice smart, you will enjoy the journey a lot more. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and please free to comment and also subscribe to the channel so I can keep bringing you these live sessions, drawing sessions. Thank you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.